What do you feel about, you know, the era of news right now where weather and the missing plane story, which is a tragedy, but the way it wallpapered news, just where we are?
I mean, people have been fascinated with that story, and we, you know, some networks are trying to do it with a certain, you know, concern about the fact that there are other news events going on, and while other networks, one in particular, your good friends at CNN, have said this is our ticket out of the doldrums that we've been in, and they have been in doldrums.
And it helped them.
It helped them, you know, for the first 3 weeks or so. I'm not sure, you know, at a certain point, you know, the plane's missing. You know?
And there's no news.
And there's no news. But still, having said that, people are fascinated with that story. You know, it's one of those classics that people of our time will remember all their lives, no matter what the end result of all this is. But there are other big stories. What's going on in Europe and Ukraine and Crimea is huge and warrants our attention and our concerns. You know, lots of stories do, and we have to keep pursuing all of them.
You know, I look at what CTV and Global do, and I think they have great broadcasters and great journalists there, and they do a great job. But part of the reason why Canada's been able to avoid a lot of the pitfalls, I think, of corporate media in the U.S., and I've worked there and I've seen it, and it's there, is because of the work you and your team do, and the fact that CBC as a public broadcaster kind of keeps everybody honest. And I don't say that in a self-serving way because we're on the air here, but it's important you take those, so you can't just make decisions to get eyeballs. You actually have to do what you think is important. So when you're in those meetings over the time you've had hosting the National, have you stood up and said, I don't care that this is what people want, this is what people need? Have you done that?
Yeah, a number of us do, and that's always been sort of my argument, you know, because different news organizations look at news differently, and that's the beauty of the business, especially in a free country like ours, where you can you know, change television networks and see different decisions made on every day. I mean, some days everybody's the same because the story's so overwhelming. But most days, they're different. It's like newspapers are different on their front page. There are different choices being made by different organizations. And one of the reasons for those choices is some people see news as, you know, entertainment, what people are talking about around the water cooler. While others, and hopefully we fall on this side, look at news as what's important for you to know. Now, any good program's got to be a mix of both, but it's where you put your emphasis and where you place your resources that really counts when you're determining that, and then the people will make their decisions. But for public broadcasting, you know, we've got to be on that side.